and heartbroken with the way things went yesterday. But you take a look as well at Tottenham, the fact that over 41 years they've had a barren record, a barren run of silverware as well. The last time they also won any trophy whatsoever was also 17 years ago. And yesterday, Aṅkè Postecoglou.
Nothing. They play champions in the football next season. They certainly go into the transfer market with different mindsets. They buy players right now. They knew what was at stake for them. And I think going into yesterday's final, they already had 3 times prior to yesterday. And I think they knew they could get the job done. And I don't know how the board of match had to start, and they had to give Garnacho less than 20 minutes to the end of the game.
Okay, Mason Mount, even Amorim himself reminded us about how Garnacho missed a huge chance, a sitter.
Even the best of players can miss goals. Yᴏᴜᴜ will tell you that even if he scored 1,000 goals in his footballing career, that miss in 2010 World Cup against Korea would probably haunt him for the rest of his life. So big players goals that he was missing. So it's not a big deal. It's not even a big deal at all. However, a lot of Arsenal bloggers that are putting £2,000, £5,000 on Tottenham that they would not win anything next season. Whatever it is that made Man U to go that far. For Tottenham Hotspur, they got the scale of Bodo Glimt in that round of game. For Manchester, the fact that it was going to be a final that would decide how to define both seasons.
Both seasons, yeah.
So this banter would not have been this. Champions League as the defending champions of the Europa League, but they won't be defending the Europa League. Then secondly, it's Tottenham Hotspur, my friend. They've got a bunch of
I agree with you.
Neither can I.
It doesn't have the character. It doesn't have the.
I rate Cʀᴜɪsᴜ as top 100 players in the world.
Cʀᴜɪsᴜ is a brilliant player.
Are you kidding me?
Cʀᴜɪsᴜ is a brilliant player.
I doubt if you.
Cʀūɪsᴜ on his day is a world beater.
Probably would make that cut because of old glory, where he's coming from. It's not at the best of season for Tottenham Hotspur. You know that champions of the Europa League.
We are also playing Champions League.
They wear the badge, by the way. And
but they won't wear it in Champions League.
No, they won't wear it in Champions League. So we'll be playing. Is this a one-off? Is this a cup game situation? How do I explain that a team that finished 17th, just directly above the other teams that got relegated, and are playing Champions League? So if I'm going to Tottenham Hotspur as a star, it's a position that would be in the mind of any big player that is going to Tottenham Hotspur. But as it is right now, they've got the brag they don't. For Brendan Johnson, settling in, into that side. He got credited for the goal yesterday.
Exactly.
James Maddison would also come back next
from his
season.
injury.
Tottenham Hotspur manager in the last 40 years. So that's a big deal for him. So he goes into next season and he'll probably be able to dictate his kind of players he wants in the transfer market. And I'm still saying Tottenham don't have the pedigree to attract. I will tell you for a fact.
But Champions League football,
because Aston Villa has been the big scene in the last few years, right? They got to the quarterfinal of the Champions League. They qualified for the Europa League the season before the last. Now they're pushing for a Champions League as well. They've got big players in their squad as well. So, but for Tottenham Hotspur, they can now sit back and say, finally, we got the most competition. They won it. So I think on that space, they can hold on to that bragging right. Like, okay, now we have a successful season by Tottenham Hotspur standard.
This is the most successful
season they've had in over 40 years. Forget the fact that they're finishing in 17th position on the table. You can make that excuse for Tottenham because it's Tottenham Hotspur. They've not really been that consistent when it comes to coming up on that scale. But now, Manchester United are even finished a point above Tottenham Hotspur, 2 points above Tottenham Hotspur. But because thoughts of the club.
Okay.
One would never expect that there will be a time in your lifetime. But in the middle of the season,
was in charge for 4 games.
Ruben Amorim in January, and they've lost 18 matches already this season as Manchester United. They've had only 39 points out of the available 111 points. A paper over cracks
kind of stuff.
Mentality, just like you have a wall that is cracked up. Post. So I think for Tottenham, I'm sure they can manage their success. Probably bring in a couple of new players that they can get from anywhere. They're trying to get those players.
Focus on Tottenham Hotspur as it stands. think around a couple of weeks ago, we had a former Arsenal manager after winning the Europa League. And it just looks like it is done and dusted for Tottenham playing the Champions League for next season. But okay, we take a look at the English Premier League. Manchester City, Newcastle, and Chelsea. We also have Aston Villa as well in 6. Aston Villa will be playing against Manchester United, not for next season. How much of a disservice do you think it is going to be that a 17th place Tottenham that might not...
Well, the rules are the rules, and then until the rules are changed, I don't know what you mean by disservice.
It is.
Almost every club had benefited from it at one point or the other, including Liverpool, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
Yeah, I'm not talking of qualifying by winning the Europa League. Okay. I'm talking about qualifying because some other teams under you won other competitions that also pushed you further out. Okay. So, Arsenal, I don't know, they've never won the Europa League, so they've never had to be a qualifier by the Europa League.
They've not announced or declared themselves champions on social media.
Chelsea have also benefited from it. That season they finished 6th. They won the Europa League.
You played Champions League.
For the Champions League had always been a statutory qualification for Real Madrid. So I think in that space, I kind of want to agree with Arsene Wenger, but also Mourinho in his usual tradition came out to say that Wenger does not have the authority to speak on who should represent what because he has never won the context. If a club like Nottingham Forest fails to qualify for the Champions of the Champions League last season, defeated by PSG that are playing in the final, arguably the best team in the Champions League this season, gets up to 69 points and they fail to qualify for the Champions League because Tottenham Hotspur have finished in. Your league is supposed to qualify you for the Champions League.
Exactly.
But you cannot blame me for being Tottenham Hotspur. I saw that I cannot make it via the league format.
And I focus on the Europa League.
Let me focus on the Europa League. There is a cup competition. One game at a time, one enemy is eliminated. There's nothing like a recycled team. Once you beat home and away, you move to the next stage. The final is a one-off. Yeah. So it's very simple. Manchester United also wanted this Champions League, this Europa League so badly. Exactly. Because Ruben Amorim talked about it on Monday that if they win the Europa League, the people will view Man U as a team with a different scope. Yeah. They'll be like, okay, and maybe they can patch things up, they can move on, but you are playing the Champions League. So for the people that did not benefit from it, for the people that are sympathetic towards teams like Aston Villa, Conference League and
they don't have to play Europa League.
They are okay with that. But for teams that have really worked hard this season,
someone is already sending us a screenshot of the Premier League standings as it stands at this point in time. But let's also talk about Manchester United as well. This is obviously their worst season ever since the 1973-1974 season as well. You take a look at the entire makeup of the squad. Obviously, finish ahead of West Ham. That's if they beat Aston Villa at the course of the weekend. But what next?
He played the script of Sir Jim Ratcliffe with the way they got rid of Marcus Rashford. He's one of the highest paid players in the squad, and they needed to light up their wage that he also wants to leave. With that statement yesterday, questioning why he should play only 20 minutes in the final, and saying that he would enjoy the summer, then think of where they go from here. After that, players like Johnny Evans would also leave the side. We don't know if Jadon Sancho would be allowed to come back to stay. Maybe they will also offload him as well. You look at just a few players, maybe players like Hamad. I'm sure that even if they don't want to offload him, as a ball boy, it's not even as a number, as a ball boy. So I'm sure there will be some form of.
But he could have scored a goal. He could have scored the equalizer if not for Van de Ven.
His season had been characterized with could have.
And he was meant to be the foil for Aile Haaland.
Could have had a good season if not for poor officiating. Could have had a good season if not for the flight of the in the side. We are hearing that Emiliano Martinez, the World Cup winning goalkeeper of Aston Villa, could be going to Manchester United to replace Andre Onana. And then you also look at that defense side. So I think a couple of players, irrespective of where they finish, the stigma of finishing 16th or wherever they finish would certainly be in the conversation when players are considering the transfer issues. Ruben Amorim would have his first full season, his full budget.
But you know their finances will definitely be impacted with them not playing Champions League.
Pay Adidas £10 million for failing to qualify for Europe. So there's a clause in that £900 million deal they signed with if they fail to qualify for the Champions League, and they have already, they will pay Adidas £10 million, £5 million. But they will have to pay Chelsea £3.5 million on Mason Mount. You know what? We need to cut costs. We've been wasteful since Ferguson left. When the Glazer family took over, What's his name? The former Dutch. No. The former spent almost 400 million pounds to sign players. Nothing happened. Also, Mourinho came in. He spent over 370 million pounds to sign player. He made Pogba the most expensive player when he signed him from Juventus to Man U. He brought in Angel Di Maria. He brought in players with Champions League experience. He won the Europa League. He also won the Carabao Cup. He spent almost 400 million pounds. Then Eritrea also came in. Eritrea spent in so much inconsistency. They've been wasteful in their signing. When they went to Borussia Dortmund to bring in Jadon Sancho for over 75 million. The signing. They went to Ajax to bring in Anthony. That's over 100 million. Over 100 million pounds.
Exactly.
Did you see his post yesterday? A statement to make against Chelsea in the conference next week.
And we plaster for Chelsea next week.
I hope they first remove the £2 million per year ambassadorial deal with Alex Ferguson. We don't need you again. Your influence. The end of the season voucher, they always give to staff. They cut it. They've laid off over 400 staff. So Baba is trying to cut this because Man U has over £1 billion debt that they've not even started paying. The Glazer family just came in. They were making money. They were fetching their own profit and using it to invest in American other sport franchise all over the world. But Sir Jim is an Englishman. He understands the weight and the gravity of
he wants to be in the day-to-day running of the club.
Manchester United. So I think they're trying to just beat all of those things together. I don't know how much patience they would have with Ruben Amorim. The truth is this may be an unpopular opinion, but Ruben Amorim looks to me like Daniel Farker. Daniel Farker is a championship material. Into the Premier League this season. Needs to go back.
Now, he has done that with Norwich before. In fact, he has done that with Norwich twice.
He brought them back.
He brought the Premier League.
He took Ruben Amorim in that scope. Fine, he did exceptionally well in the Portuguese league.
He won the league for them last season.
Bro, Man U under 21 still has more market value than Sporting. Fact.
It's over like maybe 70 million.
One stand at Old Trafford will play. That's where Man U is. So you're looking at Ruben Amorim and you're thinking, does it look to you like DeAndre won the double with Porto the season before?
Exactly.
He came over to Chelsea with a lot of his last matters. He doesn't sit on the bench. He's always sitting on the touch. So Di Matteo came in a caretaker capacity. He won the Champions League and he won the FA Cup the same season with them. Do you understand? So you look at where Ruben Amorim is and you're asking that team. Remember the Fergie time, right? The referee look at it. Would they even regard you? How much respect does he command in the midst of the players? So these are the questions that the owners of Manchester United will be asking. But like I said, I think they will retain him. Maybe give him his first full season to see how he can readjust.
I don't think I want to see Ruben Amorim still remain as the manager of Manchester United. No, I know it's not my call. As a matter of fact, the last time Manchester United won in the English Premier League was back in March. See,
they qualified for the semi-final of the Europa League. They forgot how to win the Premier League games.
So of what gain is it to be on all through their campaign?
The same thing happened in the CAF Champions League. I remember this Sundown and they are playing the final. But they concluded they considered the semi-final was the goal that knocked them out. In fact, the first leg of the semi-final, they played goalless.
Then the second one,
they now went away from home. That the only goal they cried with 3 managers already experimented this season. They've got only 39 out of 111 points available. They are 16th on the table.
It's crazy.
They still didn't win the. See, all you need to do was to get a decent 90 minutes yesterday
against Tottenham
and keep Tottenham short.
Now, okay, let me also cut it short as well. Say he could be leaving if the club wants him to leave. We also have what's his name now? Do you think there is a trend of Ruben Amorim losing his respect in the dressing room?
I'm not sure he has respect. That's why I talked about the big managers.
I agree with that.
That's what I said. Big managers with their presence in the dressing room
bounce
is always key in his last job. And if you look at a lot of the things Ruben Amorim has done lately, he has not been a good manager because he had literally forgotten how to win games anymore. So I'm not sure if he has that control. But again, Manchester United also don't have a big dressing room. There was a time at Chelsea under Andres Villas-Boas. Chelsea of Ghana.
There was
Drogba. Was the captain of Ivory Coast. There was Mikel Obi, the captain of Nigeria.
Frank Lampard.
Frank Lampard. Stars. Players with big profile. Players with control of national teams, right? So those players they may not sit down to talk about it. That body language, you say that this manager has to leave. That's what they did for them.
Yes.
The same team that Lampard said was not ready to compete won the Champions League for Chelsea.
And it was the same Thomas Tuchel that also took PSG to the final of the 2020 against Bayern Munich and lost the final to Bayern Munich. And the following year he came to win it for Chelsea. Yes.
So I mean, and when he left his dressing room, I'm sure there's no top manager that Garnacho wants to prove how open his chest for, or whether it's Yoro or Højlund or Ahmad or who is there apart from Casemiro. So I'm not sure there's. Come on, leave Maguire out of this space, my friend. I'm not sure there's a dressing room.
I love the battle between Maguire and Christian Romero yesterday. Now
I'm sure there's no dressing room for Ruben Amorim to lose. Because winning the dressing room means you have players of big character to score more than that. As a striker, you are getting
even as a defender.
He played in 11 consecutive games.
Exactly.
He played 16 of similar, like a manager that is fit enough for Portuguese league, a manager that is fit enough for mid-table teams in the Spanish league,
yes,
a manager that is fit enough for clubs like Brest and Lille in the French league on, a manager that even if he wants to come, maybe Wolves. Yes,
Brighton.
Maybe not even Brighton.
Brighton is even big.
These clubs are big clubs. So I don't think Ruben Amorim coaching that club or owning that club is prestige on your part.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think Ruben Amorim has that aura to handle Manchester United. You look at Ferguson. Ferguson's mistake was appointing his successor David Moyes because he felt like he's the longest serving manager in the Premier League.
Yeah, Ole Gunnar
Solskjaer came in. He almost walked kind of because I think that's what
after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer also Jose Mourinho.
Exactly. Mourinho was a success for them.
Yeah, he won the League Cup. He also won the Europa League
since Ferguson left. And they've had well into 10 managers. Everybody, if they don't lead by themselves, right? Players like Luke Shaw will be out of that side.
Yeah.
Players like Harry Maguire will be out of that side. There's nothing in this world that will make Garnacho to be starting for Manchester United. Who exactly?
Or even Amad Diallo.
So if you have a big manager with big character, you can command big players into the dressing room. So there's no dressing for Ruben Amorim and a mid manager.
Wow, what an addition! All right, guys, let's also get a hear from you and also get your contributions in on 36,000 phones. In fact, the phone line has been ringing ever since. I can also send you WhatsApp or text messages as well to us via 36,430. Apart from that, get a pick calls. Hello, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, you're welcome.
Quite good evening. I can see the way you have been united.
No, I'm just giving you numbers.
It's just analysis.
It's not needed. See, you might not agree with me. For United, I've said it from day one. You know, I told you. 100% my way. What you should continue. October or November. I'm telling you, the guy is so clear. Do you know that you need to be very flexible? If United are serious, they should be saying the right thing on the wall. This guy has nothing to offer United.
Thank you so much.
One I have said.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's also get to pick more calls in on 36,410. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Sᴘᴏʀᴛ don't go.
Sᴘᴏʀᴛ is gone.
How are they?
We did right, Baba.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Baba.
Hi, Abraham. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good stuff. Yes, so red there we score. White just me. Yeah, it's club. Regardless of the coach or anything with a Mourinho or with a second team. You understand? He played like that was the only thing you could salvage in the whole season. How do you do that? No.
Thank you so much.
I've also noticed a trend though. So another thing is that
okay, very quickly, please.
So two London clubs have won in the last 2 weeks. I don't know if you noticed. Two London clubs have beaten Manchester United.
Okay.
Crystal Palace has beaten.
It's a Europa Conference League. So what about the fact that all English clubs that have been involved in finals this year have all had bets on their crest as well? What about that?
True. You have a point there. But I just believe that Chelsea is winning.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's also get to pick more calls in on 36,410. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Emmanuel.
Okay. You know, Can you remember what I told you yesterday?
Remember?
I told you now. I am a man of God, man of my soul.
Are you sure? You are ready to go on the 6,410. Good evening, welcome to the show. Oh, we missed that one. Okay, guys, let's also quickly read messages. Okay, the calls are still coming through. Hello, good evening.
I greet you.
Maoga.
You don't analyze everything finished. So, to be honest, I know TV fans years though.
Hey, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Switchy. All right, let's also pick more calls in on 36,000 Good evening, welcome to the show very quickly.
Hello, Agatomi.
Baba, you're welcome to the show.
Yeah, this is my name is Eric, calling from Egbela.
Yeah, welcome, Eric. Go on, fire down.
Okay.
Maoga.
Are you with your guy? See, no way, man. Same guys. See, Man United should. I know even then with City, I don't know who was past this season. No, serious now. A coach did there before, then carry one coach come from another place. Check the record. See, immediately I knew Tottenham is going to play them in the final. I just felt to me, I said this to my friends yesterday, that Tottenham will win.
So we got people more calls in on 36,000 Good evening, welcome to the show.
Hello?
Hello, good evening, welcome.
Good evening.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
My name is Ifeanyi.
You're welcome, Mr. Ifeanyi. Fire down.
Do you know that Arsenal wins not to this season?
Which one? Oh my God!
You see all these value and better people.
Of course. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Agatomi.
Baba Alpha, you're welcome. What's the name of where you're calling from? Oh, please, can you all pause to turn on the volume radio? I can hear myself in the background, please. Hello?
I didn't go on any radio.
Okay, I think this is better.
Yes, okay, please be calming down. You know what?
Sorry for what happened. We had a little bit of technical issues in the studio. Yes, it's actually a glitch, actually. So we're very, very sorry for the show. So this person has been calling. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Beating us, especially for studio. Stars, the city fans. I go to Ophilus, married to must go to Ophilus. They will join their brother. Yes, the Manchester town, they are going down. I go down, you go down with me. Yeah. That's big congrats to because who would have thought that the same year Kane and Son will be bagging in that. I'm just so delighted. See, from the place of love, I'm happy for Son. He's a legend already, automatically, and big congrats to Spurs. The managers, I think they should keep him. I've cut him some slack. He had a lot of injuries, so let's see what he can do going to next game. And I don't imagine they can't eye. We ask Bogodi say look at it. They can't eye. Honestly, you know go funny. Emirates no go funny.
Get the pick more
when they're doing the bus parade, they'll pass in front of
Emirates Stadium. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show. Good evening to you. Good evening.
Yeah, this is Ģeģe Joshua.
You're welcome, Abba. You're welcome.
See, you will come back. Yeah, they will fight another day. I just want to beg all Lagosians from Sunday, please, all of you to come out and come and support the Ikorodu City. We need that 3 points to qualify for Confederation Cup.
It's not possible.
I'm begging Lagosians. I'm going to be there live. I'm prof. I want you to be there. But me, put into me.
We are big stars now. You should give us VIP treatment.
Don't worry. Anything we give you.
0913-6000-416, 0913-6000-416. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Baba. You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening.
My Oga, well done.
You want now?
Coffee. Coffee.
No. I'm not saying that, but. Also say, initially wanted to talk to I still consider that person justice. The truth is that he wanted Tottenham to win and finally Tottenham.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, sir. In fact, the game for Ikorodu City is a dead rubber game. They can't qualify for the CAF Confederations Cup again because the winners of the President Federations Cup will pay the ticket. Exactly. And it will only be Abia Warriors as well as the winner. Sure, very, very sorry we can't pick any more calls at this point in time. Thank you so much. Yes, it's also been a massive pleasure. But then, yes, up next as well after this is the way back ways with Rioja up here. Rio, go to the mic. Why are you standing behind me? Go to the mic. Why are you? I use a the office way. Why are you telling me my face way? Where are the office way? I'm good. What are we talking about on the show after this now?
Are you familiar with Jermaine Dupri? Jermaine Dupri.
Is the person a male or a female?
You will get to find out when the show starts.
Okay, I think
Okay, so it's Producer's Corner Part 5 on the show this evening. So we're going to be looking through his discography of different songs that he has produced and international artists that he has worked with.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We've heard from the horse's mouth, Rioja. Up next is Way Back Waves. Please stick